Why did you click on this? Because you felt it. The quiet electricity when she's near. The way her laugh gets a shade brighter around you. The way she just happens is where you are. Picture this, you're at a cafe, head down, and you catch a flicker, her eyes meet yours, dart away, then drift back like a magnet, pretending not to be a magnet. You tell yourself it's a coincidence, but your gut says there's more. This video decodes the subtle cues most men miss, the hidden, respectful signals, that she's secretly drooling over you while keeping her cards close. If you're tired of guessing games and want clarity you can use today, stick with me to the end. You'll learn how to read the room without overthinking, respond with calm confidence, and stop self-sabotaging a great connection. If better choices in your love life matter to you, tap subscribe, hit like, and watch all the way through. These 3 signs could be the difference between letting her slip by and starting something real. Point number 1, the double take and lingering look. Have you ever caught someone looking at you, and then they quickly looked away? For a moment your heart skipped, didn't it? You wondered, was that just a glance or was there something more hiding behind it? Now imagine this, you're sitting at a cafe, maybe scrolling through your phone or pretending to read something on your laptop. The world feels quiet, almost ordinary. Then out of the corner of your eye you sense it. Her eyes are on you. It's not just one glance. It's that double take, that lingering pause, and in that tiny fraction of a second, a world of unspoken energy passes between the two of you. Tell me, has that ever happened to you? That strange mix of curiosity and excitement, when you realize someone might just see you the way you've secretly hoped to be seen? The double take is not just about attraction. It's about notice. It's about someone's mind catching itself saying, wait, I like what I see. And then her eyes return, almost against her will, because in that moment, you've captured her in a way she didn't expect. Think back. Can you remember a time when a woman's gaze lingered a second too long? Did it make you feel a little taller? A little sharper, like suddenly the world had shifted and you were the center of it? That's the quiet power of the double take. But here's the interesting part. She won't admit it. She'll disguise it. Maybe she'll sip her drink, play with her hair, or glance at her phone like nothing happened. But you felt it, didn't you? That invisible thread pulling her attention back toward you. The truth is, most men miss this. They chalk it up to coincidence or ignore it, entirely because they're too busy doubting themselves. How many times have you brushed off a glance like that, telling yourself, nah, she wasn't looking at me, only to later realize you might have missed a moment that could have changed everything? I want you to pause and ask yourself, what would have happened if you leaned into that moment? If you simply acknowledged her look with a calm, confident smile instead of second-guessing it, how different could your story have turned out? See, the double take is nature's little signal. It's not fireworks exploding in the sky, it's subtle, almost hidden. But that's what makes it so powerful. Because when a woman allows her eyes to linger, even for just a second, she's revealing something most women work hard to keep guarded. Her raw, unfiltered attraction. Think of it this way, our eyes betray us. No matter how much we try to control our words, our eyes always tell the truth. That's why ancient poets called them the windows to the soul. When her eyes lock onto you, linger, and then dart away, it's her soul whispering before her mind can catch up. Now here's where the story deepens. The double take doesn't just happen once. If she's truly drawn to you, it'll repeat. She'll sneak another look when she thinks you're not noticing. She'll hold her gaze just a fraction longer each time, and if you're aware enough, you'll feel it. A rhythm, almost like a silent conversation being played out across the room. Have you ever been in that kind of silent dance, where no words were spoken, but you could feel the tension building between you? That's the spark of chemistry. The kind that makes people write songs, poems, and entire novels about love. But here's the challenge. Most men get nervous. They overthink. They wonder, what if I'm wrong? What if I smile and she wasn't even looking at me? And so they do nothing. They bury the moment and it slips away like smoke in the air. What if you didn't let that happen next time? What if you trusted your instincts and simply allowed yourself to acknowledge her interest? Wouldn't that be better than living with the regret of never knowing? The double take and lingering look is her secret way of saying, I see you. It's not about being flashy or desperate or obvious. It's quiet, it's shy, but it's real. And if you're the kind of man who can slow down, notice, and respond without fear, you'll unlock a world of connection most men never even realize exists. So ask yourself, when was the last time you noticed her eyes doing that double take? And more importantly, What are you going to do differently the next time it happens? Because those small, almost invisible moments, they're the ones that shape love stories. They're the ones that decide whether two lives cross paths or simply pass by each other forever. Point number 2, closing the gap, proximity plus mirroring. Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to drift closer to you without even realizing it? You start a conversation in one spot, and before you know it, they've leaned in, tilted their body toward you, or closed the invisible space that once existed between you. Subtle, right? But in matters of attraction, that subtlety speaks volumes. Picture this, you're at a house party or maybe a quiet bar. Music hums softly in the background. You're leaning against the counter, lost in your own thoughts when she steps into the room. At first, there's plenty of space between you, a safe, polite distance. But as the minutes pass, you notice something strange. She's inching closer. She picks a spot just a little nearer than she needs to. Her chair is angled in your direction, when there are a dozen other ways she could have sat. It's not an accident. It's her way of telling you, without words, I feel safer near you. I want to be in your space. Think about it. When was the last time someone moved closer to you in that quiet, almost imperceptible way? Did you notice it? Did you feel that little rush in your chest when you realized they chose your orbit over everyone else's? Proximity is one of the most primal signals of interest. Human beings are territorial. We guard our personal space like it's sacred. So when a woman willingly shrinks that space, when she lets you into her comfort zone, that's not random. That's attraction revealing itself in silence. But it doesn't stop there. Sometimes it's not just about moving closer. It's about mirroring. Maybe you cross your arms, and a moment later she does the same. You lean in slightly, and so does she. You take a sip of your drink, and she mirrors that rhythm without even realizing it. Why does this happen? Because when two people feel a connection, their bodies sync up naturally. It's almost like a dance that neither of you choreographed, but both of you instinctively know the steps to. That mirroring is her subconscious saying, I'm aligned with you. I'm in tune with you. I feel what you feel. Have you ever been in a conversation where you suddenly realized the other person was mirroring your every move? How did it make you feel? Noticed, connected, maybe even a little magnetic. This is why closing the gap is one of the clearest signs she's drawn to you. It's not about bold declarations or obvious flirtation. It's about quiet alignment. The way her body betrays her attraction before her words ever do. Now here's where the suspense builds. Some men miss this completely. They think, oh, she's just being friendly or it's just coincidence. But is it really? Ask yourself, how many coincidences add up before it becomes undeniable? How many times does she need to angle her body toward you, lean in when you speak, or accidentally brush your arm before you realize what's actually happening? The truth is, attraction rarely shouts. It whispers. It shows itself in the tiniest, most delicate gestures. And if you're too distracted or too insecure to notice, you'll miss the entire conversation her body is already having with you. But imagine this, what if you didn't miss it? What if the next time she closes the distance you leaned in just a little too? Not aggressively, not with pressure, but with ease. What if you allowed yourself to enjoy the invisible dance? To meet her rhythm without overthinking it? How different would your love life feel if you stopped second-guessing those signals and simply trusted them? Let's take it even deeper. Why do women close the gap in the first place? Because proximity creates intimacy. Think about when you whisper to someone. The closeness, the warmth, the hushed tone, it draws them in. She closes the gap because being near you feels good. It's her way of creating a private world between the two of you, even if you're standing in a crowded room. And mirroring? That's her way of saying, I'm with you. I'm matching your energy. It's not just attraction, it's compatibility at a subconscious level. Our brains are wired to mirror those we feel connected to, as if to say, I'm safe here, I belong here. So let me ask you, how often have you noticed the way she leans in, the way her steps fall into rhythm with yours, the way her laughter carries the same cadence as your own? How often have you paused to recognize that she's not just present with you, she's aligned with you? Because that's what closing the gap really is. It's not just about distance, it's about desire. It's about a woman revealing, in the quietest way possible, that she feels pulled toward you. And here's the challenge for you. The next time you notice this, don't freeze. Don't dismiss it as chance. Instead, smile, lean in, and let yourself be part of that silent conversation. because sometimes the most powerful words are the ones never spoken. So I'll leave you with this. Who in your life has been quietly closing the gap with you? And have you been brave enough to notice what her silence is really saying? Point number 3, micro-investments, time, teasing, touch. Have you ever noticed how the people who truly value you always make time for you? Not in grand gestures, not in huge sweeping sacrifices, but in the little ways, those small, deliberate moments they carve out just for you. That's what I call micro-investments. And when it comes to attraction, they are everything. Think about it. Time is the most expensive currency we have. We can't get it back, we can't save it up, and we can't borrow more. So when a woman chooses to spend hers on you, even in small doses, it's never an accident. It's a quiet way of saying, you matter more than other things I could be doing right now. Picture this. You've had a long day, maybe you're exhausted, maybe you're not even feeling particularly social, and yet her name pops up on your phone with a message that seems casual. Hey, what are you up to? It's a simple question, but beneath it is something deeper. She could have texted anyone. She could have filled her evening with endless distractions, but she chose you. Can you remember the last time someone went out of their way, even in a small way, to include you in their day? How did that make you feel? Seen, wanted, maybe even special? That's the first layer of micro-investments, time. A few extra minutes here, a random call there. A moment of attention when she didn't have to give it. Most men overlook these, brushing them off as politeness. But they're not polite, they're a priority. And then comes teasing. Now, teasing isn't about cruelty or putting you down, it's about play. It's her way of creating a private game between the two of you. A rhythm that says, I feel safe enough with you to be lighthearted, to poke at you, to create a spark of tension that only we share. Maybe she jokes about the way you order your coffee. Maybe she calls you out when you exaggerate a story. Maybe she gives you a nickname, something only she calls you. That teasing isn't random. It's her investment in building a connection. It's her way of saying, I want us to have our own little world, filled with inside jokes and playful banter. Ask yourself, have you ever had that one person whose teasing always made you laugh? Even when you tried to act annoyed? Didn't it feel like a bond, like a secret handshake only the two of you understood? And then perhaps the most powerful micro-investment of all? Touch. Not the obvious heavy kind of touch that screams desperation. I'm talking about the gentle brush of her, hand against yours when you're both reaching for something. The playful push on your shoulder when she teases you. The way she leans in so close that her arm rests against yours, almost as if she didn't even notice. But you noticed, didn't you? You felt the warmth, the electricity, that tiny rush of energy that made the moment unforgettable. That's not an accident. That's her body saying what her words won't. I want to feel closer to you. When was the last time you caught yourself remembering the way someone's hand brushed yours? Even hours later? It's incredible how such a small touch can leave such a lasting echo, isn't it? Here's the thing. Micro-investments are powerful because they're consistent. A woman may not declare her attraction outright, but she'll drop these little breadcrumbs, minutes of her time, playful teasing, light touches that guide you to the truth if you're paying attention. The tragedy is that so many men miss them. They think she's just being friendly, or she touches everyone like that. But does she really? Or does she touch you in a way that lingers just a little longer? Does she carve out extra minutes for just anyone? Or does she reserve them for the man she secretly can't stop thinking about? And here's where the suspense lies. If you ignore these micro-investments, they stop. She won't keep pouring energy into a man who doesn't notice. But if you do notice, if you respond with warmth, presence, and confidence, you build a feedback loop. She invests, you acknowledge. She teases, you tease back. She touches, you let the moment breathe instead of shrinking away. That's when attraction grows roots. That's when it deepens from subtle interest into undeniable chemistry. So I'll ask you, are you catching the signs? Are you noticing when she chooses you with her time? When she invites you into her playful world? When she lets her hand linger against yours just a second longer than necessary? Or are you brushing it all off, letting those chances dissolve into thin air? Because love rarely arrives with trumpets and banners. It arrives in whispers, in micro-investments of time, teasing, and touch. The question is, will you be wise enough to notice them and bold enough to act before they disappear? You know, when you really think about it, love and attraction aren't always loud or obvious. They live in the little things, the glance that lingers just a second longer, the way she drifts closer without realizing it, The playful teasing, the gentle touch. Those small signs are her way of saying, I see you, I feel you, and I want to be near you. And the truth is, life is made up of these small moments. If we can learn to notice them, to slow down and actually feel them, we open ourselves up to deeper connections and richer relationships. Maybe you even remembered a time in your own life when these signs showed up. And if you did, that's proof that this isn't just theory, it's real. So thank you, truly, for spending your time with me today. I don't take that lightly. You're part of this community now, a place where we unpack love, attraction, and the truths most people overlook. If this resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe. Not because it helps the channel, but because I don't want you to miss the insights that could change the way you see love forever. And if you felt a spark of recognition, or if you've got a story of your own, share it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.